My grandson once asked me, "Grandpa, how do you become rich?" It was a big question from such a small boy. Instead of giving him a complicated lecture, I decided to tell him a story I heard from my own grandfather. Once, in a small, forgotten village nestled between rolling hills, lived an old man. He wasn't always old, of course, but his life had been a long stretch of just getting by. Every day was the same. He'd wake up, tend to his tiny patch of land that barely grew enough to feed him, and then watch the sunset, wondering if tomorrow would be any different. He wasn't unhappy, but he wasn't truly living either. He was just existing. One day, a very wise old man, who had seen much of the world, passed through the village. He saw our old man sitting by his door, his eyes empty. The wise man sat down beside him and asked, "Friend, you have hands to work and a mind to think. Why do you settle for so little?" The old man sighed. "What else is there? This is all I've ever known. The land gives what it gives." The wise man smiled gently. "The world gives what you ask of it. Right now, you are only asking for enough to survive. What if you asked for enough to thrive?" He then gave the old man a single, shiny coin. "This isn't a gift," he said. "It's a seed. Plant it wisely." And with that, he was gone. The old man stared at the coin. It was more than he'd held in a long time. His first thought was to buy a big meal, a treat he hadn't had in years. But the wise man's words echoed in his head. Plant it wisely, a meal would be gone in minutes. What then? He thought all day and all night. He couldn't plant the coin in the ground like a potato. So, what did it mean? The next morning, he had an idea. He walked to the neighboring village market. With that single coin, he didn't buy food. He bought a single, healthy-looking hen. His neighbors laughed. "You had a coin and you bought a chicken. You could have eaten for 2 days." The old man simply smiled and went home. He built a small, secure coop for his new hen. Every day, he fed her the best scraps, gave her fresh water, and protected her. And every day, the hen laid a single, brown egg. Now, here's where the magic starts. The old man was very hungry. The temptation to eat that egg was immense. It would have been a delicious addition to his meager meal. But he remembered the wise man's advice. He was thinking bigger now. Instead of eating the egg, he let the hen sit on it. He sacrificed his immediate comfort for a future reward. Weeks later, the egg hatched, and a tiny chick chirped its way into the world. The old man was overjoyed. He now had 2 chickens. He continued his patient work. He waited for the chick to grow. Soon, he had the hens laying eggs. He still didn't eat the eggs. He let them hatch, to became 4, for became 8. His little backyard was no longer quiet. It was filled with the clucking and scratching of a growing flock. He was still poor. He was still eating simple meals. But for the first time in his life, he felt a sense of hope, a sense of control. He wasn't just surviving, he was building something. Eventually, his flock grew so large that he had more eggs than his hens could hatch. This was a turning point. He began to take the extra eggs to the market. He didn't sell them for coins to spend on luxuries. No, he sold them and used the money to buy better feed for his chickens. Healthier chickens laid more eggs. It was a cycle of growth. Then he used the money to buy wood and wire to build a bigger, better coop. A safer co-op meant fewer lost chickens. He was reinvesting everything back into his small but growing business. His neighbors stopped laughing. Now, they came to him, asking to buy his fresh, healthy eggs. The old man's life began to change. With the steady income from the eggs, he could finally afford to improve his own life. He bought better food, mended his clothes, and even repaired his small house. But he never forgot the lesson of the first coin. He always set aside a portion of his earnings to reinvest and grow his flock. He bought a rooster to have fertilized eggs more consistently. He learned about different breeds of chickens, some that laid more eggs, others that were better for meat. He started selling not just eggs, but live chickens too. His small backyard operation turned into a small farm. Years passed. The old man was no longer the man who just sat by his door. He was a respected member of the community. He was a provider. He had a thriving farm, a comfortable home, and enough to share with others. He even started teaching the village children how to raise chickens, how to save, and how to invest. He was planting seeds of wisdom, just as the wise man had done for him. One day, he looked at his bustling farm, at the children laughing as they fed the chickens, and he finally understood. The wise man hadn't given him a coin. He had given him a lesson. The coin was just the start. The real wealth wasn't the money, but the knowledge of how to make it grow. It was about discipline, the discipline to delay gratification, to eat a little less today so you can have a feast tomorrow. It was about vision, seeing a flock of chickens and a single egg. And it was about perseverance, working every single day, even when the rewards seemed small and far away. Finishing my story, I looked at my grandson. His eyes were wide with understanding. "So, Grandpa," he said, "being rich isn't about having a lot of money right now." "Exactly," I replied. "Being truly wealthy is about building something. It's about planting seeds, whether they're coins, ideas, or skills, and having the patience and wisdom to nurture them until they grow into a forest. It starts with one small step, one saved coin, one chicken. You don't need to be born rich. You just need to learn how to grow." That story has stayed with him, and I hope it stays with you too. True financial freedom isn't a lottery win. It's a garden you tend to every day. Start small, be patient, reinvest in your growth, and watch what you can build. Thanks for listening. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more tales and tips on growth and life. See you next time.